RESA TV presents in 3, 2, 1, Dateline Schools with your host, Terry Harrington.
We're learning about autism this week on Dateline Schools, and to provide some information, my special guests from St. Clair County RESA, our intervention specialists, Rose Doré and Natalie Adair. And Natalie, there's been a lot of debate about what the causes of autism is. Has researchers come up with anything yet?
You know, Terry, it's a field that continues to be studied extensively. We do know that kids are born with a pregenetic disposition, that code that they may acquire and obtain autism. The research has really led us to narrow it down to about 100 genes. So it's a smaller pool than we began this search with. We don't know the pinpoint of the cause. We do know that there's genetic causes, and we do also know that there are environmental factors before birth and during that time in utero with a mother. A mother's birth age has something to do with it, and you always know there are risk when you're having a baby.
Do we find, too, that if a family has more than one child and they have a child that was diagnosed with autism, that the others may be susceptible?
You know, Terry, that's a question that we don't have an exact pinpoint answer, but we do know that we have families that have multiple kids with autism within a family, and we know that we have families that just have one child. Again, it goes back to that pregenetic code. What is that genetic code made of, and what things trigger that code to become active and be more susceptible to having an autism diagnosis?
Any cures yet?
Not that we know of yet, but we continue to advocate for that every day.
And Rose, we've been talking all this week and trying to get the community to learn a little bit about autism. What are some of the things that they really need to know, especially if they run into a person who has autism out in the community?
Well, I think one is to not judge the parents, because I think that is one of the most difficult parts of the job for a parent, because a lot of times the behaviors that may look like a temper tantrum really isn't a temper tantrum. They're just trying to adjust to the environment that they've been exposed to, and to also to realize that they can't catch it, that it can't be caught. I mean, you're born with that. And we've done a lot within the schools of providing peer-to-peer support, so that, you know, peers in the school system are learning about autism and learning how to interact with their classmates who may have autism and how to relate to them.
We'll continue the conversation tomorrow. For Dateline Schools, I'm Terry Harrington.